buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to St. Louis in Missouri so we can speak with Mike Bartels, Senior Research Director at Tobii Pro Insight. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Mike. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. My name is Mike Bartels. I am the Director of Marketing Research and User Experience at Tobii Pro North America.
Fantastic. Now, for regular listeners, of course, I spoke to Joseph Goldberg on episode 695 of this podcast last year. So is there anything exciting that's happened in the last 3 months that listeners might have missed since we last spoke with Joseph?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you and Joseph had talked about the launch of Tobii Pro Sprint. There's always new fun technologies and things going on here at Tobii. I would say in the last 3 months, a couple areas of focus that have been pretty exciting have been virtual reality eye tracking. That's something that's really taking off, being able to track exactly where people are looking inside a virtual environment. With the eye tracker built directly into the VR headset. It's really changed a lot of the way that we're able to do research into, shopper behavior in virtual stores and how consumers navigate a hotel lobby or another type of virtual environment and capturing exactly where they're looking during that process. So that's one thing that's been pretty exciting. We've also been digging into a new area of research for us, which is professional performance research. Eye tracking has traditionally been used quite a bit in academic research, user experience, consumer behavior, but now we're using it quite a bit more in testing how people operate machinery or perform professional tasks at work, really understanding what is the visual process that a worker is going through as they're doing their job on a day-to-day basis, which is important for training and safety and all sorts of different reasons. So those have been kind of two of the main areas of focus in the last few months for us.
Fantastic. And it is incredibly exciting technology. And one of the main reasons I invited you back on today was after reading that you guys have done a new study that can help identify what makes an effective broadcast TV commercial in a world full of mobile devices and so many other distractions out there. So can you expand on exactly what you found in this study? There were some pretty fascinating insights from the report, wasn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. So there was quite a bit in there. We ended up looking at around 150 people and 3,000 different commercials. And what we really focused on was, where are people looking? What's holding attention? What is associated with people tuning out? And there were, a number of interesting findings about both the placement of the commercial that is most effective and the content of the commercial and kind of what works in drawing people in, what tends to be associated with people kind of zoning out and going back to their smartphones. Some of the things we found that commercials placed earlier in the commercial break are most likely to hold attention compared with those later in the commercial break. But sort of counterintuitively, we also found that the commercial breaks later in a program tended to do a better job of holding attention than those earlier in the program. So, as the person is kind of sitting there watching the show, the longer they're watching, the more they tend to focus their attention on those commercials that are airing. We also found some interesting things, some gender differences. Men tend to look at the screen during commercials longer than women. There was a slight difference generationally, looking at people under the age of 35. They spend about 5% less time with their eyes on the screen during the commercials, which actually this one was interesting to me because we'd been expecting there to be a larger difference. The conventional wisdom today is that millennials and younger, they have their eyes buried in their smartphone all the time and they're not focusing as much on the screen. This research showed that that's actually not the case.